everybody. A lot of you out there know me as Tom & Co. from Airgun Nation Forum. I'm on there quite a bit, and I'm just always doing what I can to help other shooters out. I've got shooters of all experience levels, you know, asking me questions privately or just posting them out there for everyone. And, you know, it's always kind of like, what do I think of this product? What do I, you know, hey, should I buy this gun? What do you think about this versus that? And I do what I can to help you guys out and steer you guys in the direction I would want to be steered in if I were in your shoes. And that kind of gets me into why I'm making this video and why I bought this rifle. Starting out, my first gun was a Benjamin Discovery. A lot of fun. 177 caliber, my first PCP, and I really enjoyed it. When I saw this package come out, this is a nice way to start into PCP shooting. And the reason I say that is because in this box you get everything that you need to start shooting PCP guns. Now, it's a full package deal, and you can go out and you can have fun at about, I don't know, 15, 20 yards, something like that. You're going to have a lot of fun, maybe even out to 25. But if you want to stretch it out even further, you will have to buy a scope. So I picked up a little UTG 3-9 by 32. 3-9 I picked because it's a great place to start. 32, I usually go 3-9 by 40, but the 32 is going to do just fine. And then I picked up some rings for it, and hopefully everything will fit together nicely. We'll see along the way. Another aspect to this video that I want to go over is talking directly to the new airgunners. Guys that are new to the sport of airgun PCP shooting. They just got their first rifle, no matter what it is, and they want to know what to do next. How do I figure out my rifle? How do I figure out how to shoot it the best that I can? And so that's some of the stuff I want to go over during the course of this series of films. I'm going to start with an unboxing video and the first few steps that I take when I get a new rifle. Many of you might guess the first step in opening a new rifle is actually opening the box. So I want to go over this because you want to make sure that if your package is all bashed and beat and smashed up, you may have to make a claim with UPS or whoever delivered the rifle and say, hey, it came damaged. You know, the stock is broken, the barrel's all bent to heck. And so it's a good idea to maybe take pictures or even a video if you see your box is damaged. You know, take video of you opening it, and that way when it comes out of the box you have proof to say, look, here it is while I was opening it, you can see it was damaged. Alright, this came with some scope rings and wire. And what we have is the Diana Stormrider. I like this one. As I said, I picked this one because it came with a way to fill it. In here is a hand pump for pumping up the air cylinder. Now, if I recall correctly, this goes up to 200 bar. So 200 bar fill that's doable with the hand pump. If you've got something, say 250 bar, you're going to be straining your hand pump and you're going to be straining yourself quite a bit. So my box looks good. I'm not really too worried about anything being damaged in here. The Diana Stormrider comes with a nice beechwood stock, comes with a magazine and single shot tray. It's got a metal trigger and a manual safety right in front of the trigger. As I said, it fills up to 200 bar. Laser checkering, rifled steel barrel, and open sights. It comes in 177 and 22 cal. Package price for this is $300. Let's see what we got inside. instruction manual. And, ooh, that's nice. Inside is a nicely packaged rifle with an itty bitty little magazine. 7 shots. Fill probe, a whole mess of O-rings in here. The single shot tray is in the rifle already. And there you go. Boy, this is nice and light. It's kind of like almost miniature. Great. Now we're not filled up. We're down to 5 bar, 50 bar anyway. So I'm gonna have to give this thing a fill. And I noticed right away it comes with a very small reservoir, so I'm not gonna be expecting a tremendous amount of shots out of this rifle. And with a little tiny magazine like this, that gives me another clue as to shot count. One thing I always do, guys, is keep the box that your rifle came in. And the reason why is if you decide to sell it later on and you go to UPS and you say, hey guys, package my rifle up for me, they're going to say okay, and they're going to like you because they're going to charge you about 150 bucks to package up your rifle. Because they're going to take 2 boxes, they're going to stitch them together, make one big long box, and you know, you're going to pay for both boxes, the tape, the packaging, all the bubble inside, or the peanuts, and it ends up costing you quite a bit of money. So I would always recommend keep the boxes that your rifle came in. Put them under, you know, put them in the attic, put them in the basement, stick them up top in the garage, but keep them. As excited as I am to get this out, fill it up, and get shooting it, the first thing I'm going to do is read over the directions. I know it seems mundane and dull, but sometimes there's information in the manual that you wouldn't normally think of, and it'll just make the whole experience a lot easier. So guys, the next step for me, for any rifle I get, no matter the brand, the cost, anything like that, is going to be cleaning the barrel. I've got another video out that goes over how to clean a barrel, and I'd suggest watching that. I'll add a link up top for you. But basically, I made a string with a bunch of patches so I can run this through a couple times with some solvent and clean. I've also got cleaning pellets, which I can push through with a wooden dowel. Now the directions say to use an oil-based cleaning agent, so nice cutting oil like a WD should do okay. And somewhere I've also got some ballistol, so I can also use that if I wanted to. So I'm going to get this guy cleaned up. Ooh. There's a little magnet on this stuff. Oh, that's cool. Every time you put the shot tray in, it goes right to where it needs to be. And there's also one on the magazine, so you slide it in and it snaps right in place. That's pretty cool. Daystate uses a similar system, and it's really nice. I really like that when they put that little magnet in there. It just helps hold stuff together rather than using, say, O-rings for tension and you have to jam it in. The magnet just sucks it right in and boom, it's there. So guys, this is why I say cleaning is so important when you get a new rifle. This was one push through the barrel. Not a scrub, not 2 or 3 times, just one push through the barrel and it's black. So I've got a lot more cleaning to do. Well guys, I've been cleaning for about 10 minutes. I started out with this really nasty black covered, one push and it came out like that. Terrible thing. And then I switched over to my rope system, which is pretty clever. Just tie a bunch of patches to a piece of string, and I ran it through a whole bunch of times. And every one of these is covered in dirt and gook and nasty. And then I've just ran another cleaning pellet through and it came out almost clean. And what I'm looking for is totally clean. But on top of that, one of the things I noticed was when I pushed my first one through, it was a hard push. It was gritty. And when I pushed this last one through, it was a nice smooth push right all the way through there. So I'm going to continue to clean a little bit more, and then we'll get on to the next step. Well guys, as you can see, the first round of patches is really nasty, and the second round is starting to come out a lot cleaner. And with the cleaning pellets, I finally got the third one to come out. I'm satisfied with that. That's a nice clean barrel. So now it's on to step 2. And with this particular rifle, step 2 is going to be filling it. And since it came with its own hand pump, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, read the directions, and put it together. Then I can pump up the rifle. Here's your hand pump you get with it, the Hand G7S pump. Comes with a nice gauge on the bottom, a fill whip. Your bleeder is going to be on the back, and you've already got a Foster fitting. Oh, it's even got a little dust plug. That's nice. Comes with all the tools you need, and a little bit of oil too, very nice. And an O-ring kit, some springs and stuff in there. Ooh, tiny little parts. This looks to me like a rebuild kit for your pump. So that right there is a pretty good value, knowing that you can rebuild this pump if you wear it out. So I got my instruction manual out. I got all my pieces. I like that it comes with a nice big gauge. This is helpful not only because you're looking all the way down at the ground to see it, but the larger the gauge, generally speaking, the more accurate. Also, one thing I noticed about this is the foot pegs fold up, or fold down. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before in a pump, and that'll make it nice for storage. You can fold it up and put it in a closet or wherever. So I'm going to get to reading the instructions and building this. Catch up with you guys in a little while. Guys, this is pretty neat. It gives you an exploded view and a how-to guide on rebuilding the pump. It's also got some maintenance stuff on one of the pages. So now that I've got the hand pump all filled up, and it's got this little plug on the end, I'm going to give it a couple of pumps before I attach it to the gun and make sure that it builds pressure. So up to this point, I've checked out the rifle, I've cleaned it, and I assembled anything that needed to be assembled, in this case the pump. I've figured out how it works, everything works, and now I'm ready to fill the rifle. This comes with a little fill plug and a dust cover for your Foster fitting. With the dust plug out, and put the fill plug in, and now I'm not going to stand on here to fill the rifle, so I got to bring the rifle down to the ground. So it's a good idea to have carpet or something like that. You don't want to scratch your stock on concrete or something like that. So guys, in the manual, it says to check both gauges during the filling process, whether you're using a hand pump or an external high pressure air source. So it's a little hard to see that, guys, so I broke out my little handy dandy little mirror with lights on it, so I don't have to keep tilting the gun over. I can just use the mirror and check to see where I'm at. Another reason to check both gauges is you want to get a baseline. If the gauge on the rifle is off and you transition over to a bottle fill system, you want to know that that gauge is reading high or low. You want to know what it's doing. So we're going to compare that gauge to this gauge. I always err on the side of the larger gauge being right. It's been about 50 pumps, and I came up to 100 bar on my pump gauge, and as you can see, it matches the 100 bar on the Diana small gauge on the rifle. That's really good because now I know when I change to a different fill source, or if I go to a shooting buddy's house and he has a fill system, I know I can count on the gauge that's on the gun to be right. I'm going to finish pumping this guy up and then probably take a nap. So now that the gun is filled to 200 bar, I'm going to perform a leak test. And unfortunately, that takes time. I'm going to mark or write down or take a picture of the gauge on the rifle, and then I'm going to wait until at least tomorrow and check it to make sure that it has the same amount of pressure in it. So unfortunately, I'm not going to shoot the gun in this video. Next video, we'll be shooting. It's pretty important to perform that leak test right away. That way, if you need to, you can contact your retailer and say, look, my gun is leaking and it's brand new and it shouldn't be leaking right now. And they can go through the process of getting the gun returned and getting you a new one. Another thing I'm going to do while I'm waiting for the leak test to be complete is set up my scope. Now I've got a scope mounting video and I'll pop a link up for you. And I'm going to see which rings will fit this gun the best, level the scope out, and get it ready for shooting in the next video. Guys, at the end of this series, I'd really like to give this rifle away. Unfortunately, I'm not sponsored by anybody, and so the money that paid for this rifle came out of my pocket. So I came up with an idea, might work, might not. If you guys would be so willing, like, share, send the message out, send this video out to your friends, and get a bunch of excitement generated over it. And if my YouTube revenue will pay for this rifle, I'll put on a contest and I'll give it away. Another way to do this is, I think there's a play all button on my YouTube channel. Just hit that button, and then if you want to watch the videos, great. If not, just walk away and let them play all the way through. And I think that would generate enough money to pay for this. If YouTube doesn't generate enough funds to pay for the whole rifle package, but it does generate quite a bit of funds, then I will deeply discount this package and offer it up to you guys as well. So with that, I'll say thanks for watching and happy shooting. Hey everybody. Shut up. I'm gonna kick you out. Alright. Get out. A lot of you guys know me from the Airgun Nation forum. You don't know me from that. You can't read.